Son of a... Welcome to this issue of Mad Murphy, where I take a few topics that are pissing me off and simply rant about them. I'm in no way an expert on any of these topics. These are simply my opinions based off of what I've seen, read, and heard. And if anything I have to say angers you, just get over it. If you wish to make a counterpoint on any of these topics, please feel free to email me with the WHP contact form at wellhey.com/contact, or simply add a comment to this video. I will not and absolutely refuse to address any idiot who wants to start a screaming match with me by starting off, including, or ending with insults. These are just my opinions, just as you are entitled to yours. So if you want my respect and have a mature debate, then you may want to start off with some respect as well. You ready? Let's dive right in. It's been a lifetime coming. Oh my God, in this special issue of Mad Murphy, I've opened up the channels to you guys, and I've gotten a pretty decent list of topics here, so enough with this small talk shit. Let's get right to it. Silverheart19 asks, what do you think of family members doing any type of abuse or harassment, including emotional? Any form of abuse is horrible, and when it comes from a family member, that just doubles the detestable nature of it. I've said this in previous issues. Family is priority. Your family is supposed to be your backbone, your rock. They're supposed to be there for you unconditionally. So when I hear tales of parental or sibling abuse, I just get all sick in the stomach about it. Everyone needs to have some form of unconditional love in their lives, and it's supposed to be from your family. And if you don't have that, well, then fuck. I really feel for you. So to those fathers and mothers and brothers and sisters and grandparents and uncles and aunts and cousins who give other family members hell for whatever reason, just remember, you're gonna get yours soon too. You will die alone. Mute says, ISIS and other terrorist attacks and organizations. Well, since I'm going to tackle this one, this is going to be my last issue. I'll most likely be assassinated tomorrow. Any form of terrorism is just bullies with guns and bombs. Of course, no one wants to die, but these people simply don't care. They are trained to create chaos, and they're succeeding. They are succeeding because we are terrified to do anything anymore. Can't go outside, can't go to the park, can't go downtown, can't fly on a plane, can't run in a marathon, can't go to a museum, can't go to work, can't go to church. What the fuck can we do? It pisses me off that we live in constant fear of saying something that just might cause someone to stab you in the face. Now, if you think this all has to do with the Muslims, I have two words for you. Timothy McVeigh. In 1995, Timothy McVeigh drove a van filled with explosives up to the Murrah Federal Building in Oklahoma City and blew the fucker sky high. His motivation? The killing of David Koresh and the siege on the Waco, Texas compound. The U.S. government has deemed it the second deadliest terrorist attack, just under the 9/11 attacks. How do we stop it? You have a better chance of stopping the sun to shine. It's a new form of crusade. ISIS is scaring everyone into hating Muslims. And unfortunately, it's working. Timmy Thyssen. God, I hope I said that right. Censorship versus the First Amendment rights. Where do we draw the line between being able to freely express ourselves and stopping something that some view as harmful material? Here's the deal with the First Amendment. People just know it as freedom of speech, but it's so much more than that. The First Amendment of the United States Constitution prohibits the making of any law respecting an establishment of religion, impeding the free exercise of religion, abridging the freedom of speech, infringing on the freedom of the press, interfering with the right to peaceably assemble, or prohibiting the petitioning for a governmental redress of grievances. I honestly feel that the FCC is a direct violation of those rights. There are certain things you can't say on television. George Carlin knew them by heart. You can't see certain things on basic cable. You have to go to HBO or Skinamax or the Spice Channel. What I don't get is why. Everyone uses vulgarity and nudity almost every day in their lives. What the fuck are we so conservative about that we can't say cocksucker on the nightly news or watch a nice set of tits during Dancing with the Stars? The answer, we're afraid of ourselves. Look at how we were founded. The most uptight, strictest religion, the Puritans, were kicked out of England just because of that. They got on a polio-infested boat, crossed the pond, killed off the natives, and BAM! You can't say fart on primetime television. With all the advancements we've had in the last decade, you'd think some of these regulations would go away. If you look closely, though, some people are able to sneak more and more stuff in, so maybe soon, very soon, we'll be as laid back as Spain. They have some great television. Sunny Days says, I want to confront my school on opening a debate club so kids can learn how to debate instead of whine and can debate their favorite topics. I was wondering if you had any advice on how to convince them it's a good idea. This wasn't so much of an issue, but more of advice. Here's the thing about schools. It's a business. And with business, to get anything done, you need to think like a business person. How much will it cost? What will it involve? How will it benefit the students? And most important, how will it make money for the school? If you can answer those questions in a positive light, you got yourself a debate club. Of course, you'll have to advertise it, organize it, lead it, most likely since it is your idea, and make sure it maintains that learning experience this is, after all, for a school. Yume10605 says, I'd love to hear your take on family members that do nothing for anyone but are either shitpot stirrers, leeches, or as this video describes, one who expect to be helped but refuse to help others, even their own families. Now, of course, this was in reference to my previous video, Assistance Please, so I'll just go along with that. This kind of goes along with abusive family members, but in this instance, it's more of a passive-aggressive thing. And that's an even bigger pile of bullshit. What needs to happen is this. The shit stirrer needs to get his ass whooped, plain and simple. Give him a dose of humility. Are they the type of family member that whines and complains all the time? Fine, beat their ass and really give them something to complain about. Want to leech off other family members? Cut them off until they get their ass a job. Refuse to help? Easy. Don't help them when they need it. Now, this might go against what I said, that family members need to be there for each other, but there's a breaking point for everything. A family is only as strong as its weakest link, and you have a weak link. You need to toughen that son of a bitch up or the whole thing's gonna fall apart. Stephanie Swan Quills says, could you do one about toxic friendships and relationships and how a person can safely start to remove themselves from them? Such as how to spot friends who are showing dangerous signs and how to help move on and start building trust with new friends. How to safely remove yourself from a toxic relationship. Ugh. Well, there's no real clean way to break ties with someone that is toxic because a toxic person will not see things rationally, so there's no real way to predict what their actions are going to be. But that also ties into one of the reasons you want to get away from them, am I right? What you can do is prepare yourself for any outcome, and that's the best advice I can offer. Think of how many different possible ways this person could possibly react and prepare yourself for a fight. Unfortunately, that's what it's going to end up as. Whether it be verbal or physical, there will be blood. Best start training like Rocky so more of it is theirs than yours. First off, stand your ground. You want to break it off, make that known right away. Do not pussyfoot around the issue. Just get it all out in the open, kind of like ripping off a band-aid. The quicker, the less painful it's going to be. Stick to the facts. Try not to get emotional and stay as objective as possible. Chances are, this person already knows your weakness. Do not give them an in. As soon as they see a window, they will jump at it no matter how many stories up. Do not bring up past grievances that have nothing to do with the points you're trying to make. If you want to break it off because they were never there for you, then stick to reasons why they were never there for you, and do not introduce that they never bought anything nice for you ever. That's just dirty pool, and you want to take the high road here. Do not condemn them for being toxic. This is probably the most important one of all. There is absolutely no way they could possibly get better if they are left with the sense that there is no hope for them. But you do not want to give them an invitation that you and them could possibly be friends again if they get help. You want to let them know that there is help out there and it would do them good. You want to leave the situation with a clean break, but you also want them to know that they are a person, not an evil villain that needs to be slain at the end of some movie epic. There is good in everyone. Just remember that before you go in for that final blow. Now, how do you spot those red flags? It's kind of easier said than done, actually. Because just like love, friendship can also blind you. Now, you could keep everyone at an arm's length just to be safe, but who likes to play it safe? There is no typical sign that every toxic person could give, but there is one thing that you can always trust. Instinct. If your friend does something that you think may be off, could be off, or is downright wrong, chances are your gut is trying to tell you something. See, that's the hardest part. Listening to your head over your heart. Your heart says,
"This is my friend. They would never do anything wrong."
When your head is telling you,
"Danger, Will Robinson, danger, danger."
So if your head says something and you get that little voice that says, "Psst, this fucker's crazy," listen to it. Don't just jump back and say, "Okay, Jack, you cray, I'm out at a Kurt Gowdy." But start to be a little bit more observant and objective than before. Case in point, I recently had to cut ties with someone because they started giving off loony pheromones. A couple of things were said here, a couple of actions on Tumblr there, and I confronted them. I said, "Hey, knock it off, you're better than that." But sadly, they were not. It got worse and worse, and finally they turned on me, and then they turned on some of my friends. I was forced to cut that tie as quickly as possible before it got any worse. How to start building trust with new friends. If you've ever been scorned before, there is no real easy way to do this. Your heart was wounded, and you don't want that to happen again, but like I said before, who likes to play it safe? It's kind of like that old saying, no good story ever started with, "So I was eating a salad." No, it's always, "So me and my friends were out at this bar," right? You have to trust the fact that not everyone is an asshole or a freak show. But hey, I'm not one to actually give advice on this since I'm still licking my wounds from February 2015. Over Macho Grande? No, I don't think I'll ever get over Macho Grande. You have to have faith. That's pretty much it. You have to have faith in others and faith in yourself. Faith that not every day is gray and cold. Faith that it's going to be better tomorrow. Faith that no matter what, things aren't as bad as they seem. Oh, I guess it would be nice if I could touch... Wait a minute. That's the wrong kind of faith. If you've stuck around this long, I want to thank you for letting me air out their grievances. And believe me, we all got lots of them, so I'll just close out with the usual. It doesn't matter what your religion is. I think we can all believe that treat others as you wish to be treated is a pretty decent rule to live by. So why don't we all stop the fighting and just treat each other the way we would like to be treated? You can never have too much of a good thing. Unless it's beer, then drink responsibly. I look at all of my friends and fans as younger brothers and sisters. I am not yelling simply to yell. I just don't want you to make the same mistakes I have. So if I go off on you individually, it's because I see you're about to hit that point where you're going to turn into me, and we cannot have any more Murphys. The world can barely tolerate one. If you missed any of this Mad Murphy issue, the transcript will be posted on WellHey.com, so stop on by and enjoy the insanity. If you have a suggestion of a topic you'd like to hear my opinion about, you can let me know in the comments or at wellhey.com/contact. As always, you can catch me and say hi on Tumblr, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. This is Murphy 1976, a WellHey Productions, where we bring you colorful insanity to your drab, uneventful lives.